Tune in to Real Talk. Film. Facts. And the realness behind the reels. It's the director, Wes Clark. Lights. Camera. Conversation, let's go. We keep it real, that's real talk. Breaking down the game, no filter, just talk. From the classes to the blockbusters. Trust us, you can love us, you can hate us, but don't forget about us. We keep it real, that's real talk. Breaking down the game, no filter, just talk. From the classes to the blockbusters. Trust us, you can love us, you can hate us, but don't forget about us.
Hey, what's up? It's Logan Browning, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director.
Hi, this is Alana De La Garza, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director.
Hi, I'm Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. You're listening to Real Talk with the Director.
Hey, I'm Stormy Maya, and you are listening to Real Talk with the Director.
Hi, this is Monique Free. You are watching Real Talk with the Director.
It's because you're deep, orange is the new black, and I'm here with Real Talk.
Yo, what up? This is Jay Ellis, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director.
Hey, I'll be Issa Rae. You're watching Real Talk with the Director on Down House Radio.
We keep it real.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Nothing more and nothing less. Welcome back to another edition of Real Talk with the Jedi Council and the Director. I am the Director. Be with you for the next 60 to 90 minutes. We'll decide along the way. Real Talk's brought to you each and every Monday by B2S Media, and we broadcast live via the World Wide Web on youtube.com/IE Network TV. The IE Network. And Facebook, aka Meta, the social network. So, welcome back, people. It has now been how long? A week or so after the Oscars. Well, we didn't come on the day after the Oscars, but Oscars season, award season is finally finished, and I thought it was an entertaining one. You guys know we did for the first time here on Real Talk, we did a live stream of the Oscars. You can still go see that if you want to catch some of our commentary, our reactions. You can still see that right here on the IE Network. Check it out. Skim through it. And have fun. So, with that being said, we know the winners. We know who won big. We know who didn't win big. We know who, any surprises. Not many. Snubs, I guess that's a perspective. We know that Michael B. Jordan won Best Actor. We know that one battle after another won 6 Oscars, big Oscars as well, including Best Picture and Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay. So the movie did big, won big. It also won for editing, which I did not agree with. Sorry, people. I did not agree with that movie winning for best editing. There was nothing about that movie, in my opinion, as an editor. There was nothing about that movie that stuck out to me. And to be honest with you, I would have penalized the editor because the movie was too dang long. And it's not that the movie was long. The scenes were long. I'm not going to harp on it too long because obviously, what do I know, right? They already won. But as an editor, and a pretty damn good one at that, I just don't think that. I think that movie had too many long scenes, just drawn out scenes. The movie could have ended a half an hour early and we wouldn't have missed any story. So I don't agree. That's the one, if I have to protest or don't agree with one award, Because all the other ones I accept. I was pulling for Sinners for all of them, of course. But I accept those other awards being awarded to One Battle because I kind of knew that was going to happen. I had the feeling. But editing, nah. That movie, like I said, I'm an editor. And I know that movie could have ended a half an hour early based on the way they edited that movie. And I don't know what it's a PTA thing. I don't know. But some of those scenes just dragged on forever. And I was like, come on. We get the point. Move on. But they won for editing, so big up to them. Congratulations to all the winners. Sinners, won 4, I believe. Yeah, for score. For Ludwig, won for score. Ryan Coogler won for best original screenplay. Michael B. Jordan, of course, won for best actor. And Autumn Akapar won for cinematography, the first woman of color. She broke 2 records to ever win that category. So big up to Autumn. So what's next as we go on? Well, Ryan Coogler is now in pre-production for the 3rd Black Panther movie. He is also producing and directing the pilot episode of his reboot of the X-Files. As of right now, the Danielle Deadwyler is the only one. If you remember her, she played Emmett Till's mother in the movie Till. Very good actress. She a very great performer, but she was snubbed. Speaking of snubs, she was snubbed award season because oh my goodness, she did such a great job and she didn't even get nominated. It was weird, but she's been attached. Ryan Coogler is producing. He's executive producing. Of course, he's bringing his team with him. Of course, his wife Zinzi, his partner Sev, and they're all producing the X-Files. Daniel Deadwyler is the only one officially announced. People were talking about, we're in talks with Lakeith Stansfield, a couple other people were in talks with, but we're not sure. Also, Autumn Akapar is signed on to do the cinematography. Now, I don't know if she could do cinematography for the whole series, but we know only thing that's listed, and most of the time when they list these things, they only list the pilot episode. So Ryan Coogler is listed as the writer and director of the pilot episode, and Autumn Akapar will be the cinematographer on that episode. So that's the X-Files. And of course, he's in pre-production for Black Panther 3, whatever they're going to call it, whatever subtitle they're going to give it. We know that movie, he's got a little time for that. That movie will not come out until after Secret Wars, Avengers Secret Wars. I believe that is when in Secret Wars, they're going to officially introduce the new Black Panther T'Challa. It's been heavily rumored that it is Damson Idris. We're not sure. It's not confirmed, but it's been heavily rumored, and most people believe it is him. So Damson will be, well, we don't know if he will be, but if he is, he will be the new T'Challa. Now, I'm not sure if Ryan Coogler is going to stay with his continuity and make Damson Idris the grown-up version of T'Challa's son, who's also named T'Challa. Are they going to age him up? Is he going to be the same son from a different universe? and then bought into our universe, the 616, because we know by the time Secret Wars is over, we will have a new consolidated MCU 616 universe, which will consist of the Avengers, the X-Men and other mutants, the Fantastic Four, and everybody else that's been put in here. So we know that's going to be in Black Panther. There'll be the new Black Panther. So the Spider-Man stuff, even though Sony has finally kind of backed off a little bit, and they're like playing ball with Marvel a little more. They said that they got a good relationship. The CEO of Sony said that they have a really good relationship with I forget the guy's name, but I know he used to work with Kevin Feige, I think, at Fox at one point. So him and Kevin Feige have a great relationship. So they're playing ball a little more with Marvel, which is what everyone wanted. So all of these people are going to be consolidated into this one universe. And then whoever isn't consolidated will be killed. So they'll be dead. So it's what it is. So that's cool. That's very cool. So that's what they got going on. Of course, a big one of the big stories other than Michael B. Jordan and all of that and the winnings. Timothy Chalamet has been, I would say, the topic of great discussion. From they're so they're so distraught. His fans are so distraught that he did not win Best Actor. They're coming up with every excuse from him. From the thing he said about the ballet and the opera or whatever. Now they're even blaming the Kardashians. They always find a way to blame the Kardashians. They're blaming the Kardashians, saying that his association with Kylie Jenner might have hurt him in winning the Oscar. And I'm like, maybe he just wasn't good enough. I mean, you ever think about that? I mean, I saw Marty Supreme finally. I saw it right before the Oscars. It was okay. I didn't think it was that great. He did a good job. But what are we comparing him against? I mean, I know this character is a supposedly fictional character based on this real guy, but how do we know who this real guy is? When people are doing that doesn't mean we can't tell that he's acting well. But when people are portraying someone in real life, especially if it's someone we don't know who it is, we just kind of got to trust them that they did a good job. But and he did do a good job. It was a good film. It wasn't a great film. I liked it, didn't love it, but maybe, just maybe, he just didn't do as good a job as Michael B. Jordan did on Sinners. Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe a little thought could possibly be it. So anyway, his fans are distraught and they're like, oh, it's the Kardashians' fault. It's funny. It's like, whenever you're in doubt, blame a Kardashian. Why not? That's pretty much what the narrative is. I personally have nothing against any of the Kardashians. Number one, I don't watch this show. I've never seen 1 minute of any of their shows. And I obviously know Kim Kardashian's and all of the I have no problem with Kim Kardashian or any of them. Why? Because when I was doing my show, Block TV, and we covered one of the years we covered the Super Bowl, the year that down in Miami where she was dating I forget his name, the running back from New Orleans Saints, Reggie something. They had a party we covered, and Kim Kardashian was very polite and very respectful to me and my team. I have no problem with her because she didn't have to talk to us. We were the little guys in the room. You had the E Network, you had VH1, or wherever it was. You had whoever the other people outlets out there, big outlets, ABC, this, that, and right there in the front corner there, Block TV on the IE Network. And we were standing there, and Kim Kardashian came down the red carpet, and her publicist looked at me right in my eyes and then grabbed her arm and tried to pull her past my microphone. And Kim, they tried to drag her to the E Network because obviously the E Network they had their show to Keep It Up with the Kardashians on the E Network. So that should be the first outlet you think she'd go to, right? Wrong. She came to Block TV on the IE Network. She came to us first, gave us our interview against the advice of her publicist, because her publicist probably looked at us and was like, "Who are these guys? This urban outlet. Let's not do that." She came to us. She gave us the interview. And then after that, everyone in her family followed suit. They all came to us. She left. Here comes Kris Jenner. She left. Here comes Robert Kardashian. He left. They just kept coming. So big up to Kim. I ain't never had an issue with her. And I always said, to me, everybody who hates on them, hey man, what is her talent? What is her talent? What is her talent? You know what their talent is? Making you talk about them. That's their talent. So it is what it is. So moving right along. So people were blaming the Kardashians that Timothée Chalamet did not win Best Actor. So along with that, I'd say all this to say this. Along with that Best Actor win for Michael B. Jordan, he's just doing his thing. Everybody's congratulating him. They're giving him hugs left and right. You got Chase Infinity giving him a big hug and talking to him and really going. You got all these people loving on Michael B. Jordan. He goes and does his tradition, because people think he was just showboating, but in his tradition, whenever he's in California, he goes to In-N-Out Burger. That's what he does, especially after an award show. Goes and fulfills his tradition at the In-N-Out Burger. Everyone's taking pictures, just celebrating, flying high. So when a man is flying high, especially a black man, guess what? People got to start trying to knock him down, because that's what we do. Let's keep it a buck. Black people, that's what we do. Because I don't see any white people. Well, there's a few, but very few white people even really caring. They're like, okay, he won. And that was that. It's mostly black people, unfortunately, that are the ones that are trying to throw shade and tear him down. And, you got that chick, L'Oreal, whatever her name is, resurfacing after she got embarrassed. Actually, she didn't get embarrassed the way she should have. But when she embarrassed herself, we'll say that, with Michael B. Jordan on the red carpet when he was doing Creed 3, his debut directorial debut, and she's interviewing him and brought up that they went to high school together in Newark, New Jersey. And he then proceeds to say, "Oh yeah, I'm the corny guy, right?" He obviously remembered because she was on her podcast just, whenever days before, talking about how they used to pick on him back in high school, and they picked on his name. They made fun of his name. He ain't no Michael Jordan. They made fun of him bringing headshots with him to school. When you bring a headshot, this is Newark, New Jersey. This is the hood. Blah, 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 blah. And they made fun of him. So when he called her out, she's like, "No, I didn't say that. I didn't say you were corny. I was misquoted." And he's like, "It's okay. It's all right." And then she proceeded to continue to make a fool of herself, because then Jonathan Majors walks on. They hug, they talk, and she asks him, "Oh, y'all are two hottest actors right now. So tell me, who's the best actor between the two of you?" Something like that. A stupid question. And they're just like, and Jonathan Majors called her out. And he's like, "What kind of question is that?" So she just got completely annihilated. Well, no, let me rephrase that. She annihilated herself on the red carpet. And now she wants to resurface after Michael B. Jordan wins Best Actor, going on shows, talking about he owes her an apology because she wasn't the one who called him corny. On that show, she had another girl on the show with her, and that was the girl who said Michael B. Jordan is corny or whatever. Okay, fine. You didn't say the word corny, but you admitted out of your own mouth that you, along with others, teased him about his name and made fun of him for bringing headshots with him to school. So you still was, obviously it stuck with him because he remembered, or he wouldn't have brought it up. So you got that on one hand. There's other stuff that goes along with this, and we'll get into it on the other side of the weekend recap, brought to you by boxofficemojo.com for the weekend of March 20th through the 22nd. Okay, number 5 is Reminders of Him, 8 million. That opened on March 13th. For now, that adds 8 million, adds to its $53.9 million worldwide. Number 4, Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, 9.1 million, which now has the opening worldwide gross at $11.8 plus million. Number 3. That's what's that? Durander, The Revenge, 10 million, bringing the worldwide gross to $16.8 plus million. Number 2, Hoppers, 17.8 million, opened on March 6th. It is now at $242 plus million worldwide. And number 1 will be Project Hail Mary, 80.5 million, just opening this weekend on March 20th, and with a $140.9 plus million effort in the opening weekend worldwide. And that is your weekend recap brought to you by boxoffice.com. So you are listening and watching, of course, Real Talk with the director and the Jedi Council. I am the director. Brought my Jedi Council with me. Well, at least half of them is here. Ralph's in the building. And welcome back, as always, our boy, Tony Perez. You're in the building. Thank you. Thank you for coming back.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Gentlemen.
Hey, guys. How are you guys?
Oh, man, it was good. Good. I mean, so as I continue the news portion here, like I said, there's been a lot of negativity floating around because every time a brother is up, somebody gotta try to bring him down. And so now I just mentioned that chick L'Oreal. That's one thing that was circulating about Michael B. Jordan. Then there was something else circulating about Michael B. Jordan where something about his ex-girlfriend Lori Harvey tried to contact him just to give him a congratulations, not to try to get back with him or anything like that, not that we know of, because she is allegedly back. She's in an on and off relationship with Damson Idris. So he did not according to reports, he did not respond to her. That's fine. There's, then of course you have I don't even want to mention this guy's name. Freaking the coon of all coons, Jason Whitlock, who basically I'm paraphrasing, but he went on to just, like he always does, gets an opportunity to tear down a black man or black person, period, and just completely dismissed Michael B. Jordan's win as DEI win.
Where do you find all these stories, bro? Like, yeah. I'm way too busy for that.
Jason,
like, how are you like? That's why you don't read my stuff, because you're looking up all this crazy, gossipy stuff.
No, they're sent to me. Well, Jason Whitlock is I don't even know what type of reporter he is. I first saw him doing sports. Yeah, he's a sports reporter, but he always commentates on everything else. And everything he commentates on.
You're giving him time right now, so he's got to be somebody.
Yeah. I mean, he is. He's a nobody to the fact that he is a dirtbag, in my opinion. But he does have an audience, and I think he used to be on ESPN. He got fired from there. Then he was on some other network, got fired from there, and he may be on like FS1 or something like that at this point. I don't know. I don't watch his show nor follow it, but of course you see the clips of it. And he's the one who said all of this stuff, and then he goes on.
All I know is that Michael B. Jordan is way too busy for this stuff. He's enjoying all the stuff that he's earned, and he can care less about this stuff. I mean, they're trying to bring themselves up by bringing him up.
Well,
he's not going to give him the time of day.
They're going to bring themselves up by bringing him down, and that's what happens all too often with a lot of people, a lot of our people. And so, yeah, that was the Jason Whitlock thing. But the most recent, or probably the largest, quote unquote, it's not a controversy, but the way the media is framing it as a negative. It's not a negative, in my opinion, but they're framing it as that. So the new Miami Vice reboot is, on its way or whatever, in development. And Michael B. Jordan, who at first was in talks to play Tubbs, and now officially, supposedly he was going to do it, or is going to do it, along with Austin Butler, to play the two, starring characters. And the big story at this moment is Miami Vice reboot in jeopardy. Michael B. Jordan now demanding $18 million salary after Oscar win. Demanding.
I could go with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we know that, but using the word demand.
I said Butler's going to play Crockett. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Brad Pitt's too old to do it now, so he gotta go somewhere.
The word demanding, and I see that in quite a few headlines. Michael B. Jordan demanding $18 million salary after Oscar win. First of all,
yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Now's the time he gets paid. It's like give me paid. That's it.
You gotta remember, Michael B. Jordan has been a part of a lot of films that made a lot of money. He was not the sole star in all of these films. However, he's always had big parts.
He's worked his way up, and he deserves it. Yeah. This is great. And Miami Vice, I'm sorry, dude. Let's stick with the original series. The reboot they did a few years ago, that sucked. You know, so let's just stick with the TV series and just go with that.
Well, they're rebooting it again, and that's one of the things I'm gonna talk about in the writers' room. I'm just gonna kind of revisit that what you were just talking about, from the series to the reboot to the movie. And the movie was directed by Michael Mann, who actually did the series. So, but there was definitely some misfires there. I didn't hate it, but you know, I didn't think
I didn't hate it, but I didn't fall in love with it.
Yeah. No, I definitely didn't fall in love with it.
I know why I know why, because it was the Miami Vice TV show. If Miami Vice was originally just a movie, it would have did just fine because you don't have the frame of reference. I mean, Jamie Foxx as Tubbs. If Jamie Foxx did the Caribbean accent throughout the entire movie, okay, because Tubbs had that. What's his name as Crockett? No, I wasn't feeling him as Crockett at all. He wasn't the guy. It should have been. If it was Brad Pitt, I'd been like, yes, it could have been anybody but him. You know, it's just
to me, movie.
The funny thing is they're trying to make it like Austin Butler's the guy that's the big guy in this whole thing, and Michael B is just, like even a secondary character, and I'm sure he's the guy that's, Butler is like, it's his vehicle to make him a bigger star, and and they're like, oh, he should be getting paid more, and I don't blame Michael B. Jordan. He's got his the pick of the litter to go from. I mean, he doesn't need Miami Vice. He does not need Miami Vice.
Yeah, he's more than likely going to do it. He has 8 films in development at the moment. Some he's actually filming. The Thomas Crown Affair he's filming, and almost done filming, if not done filming. He's got the new Creed that's in development, the 4th installment of which is in development, and I
would tell him, man, please don't do Creed 4, because I mean you're gonna have to come up with something a totally original story, especially if you're not going to continue to have Stallone in it. Because I mean, what else is there left to done? You retired and came back, won the title. Unless you now will be interested if you're doing Creed 4, and the person that you are putting the muscle behind is your daughter in the world of female boxing, and that might be interesting.
No, and it's funny you say that, Ralph, because I believe that is going the story, like the direction they're going to go in, especially the fact that his daughter is deaf. It kind of throws a little extra stakes in there, and I believe I heard rumors that was the direction they were going to go in, and we'll see. But there's a lot. I mean, he's also developing the Rainbow Six movie, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. As you know, he did the other Clancy film.
Dude, he was good in that one. I was trying to get my buddy to watch that. He didn't want to watch it, but he was good in that one.
Without Remorse.
See, that's his character. He knows how to play those characters. It's the same Michael B. that I'm used to.
Without Remorse. Which, funny you mentioned that. So why is the media framing this to be so negative that he's asking for 18 million when he got paid 15 million?
No, they're not. They're
not, dude. I just looked it up.
Everybody that wins an Oscar. Everybody that wins an Oscar in the next movie go. But the next movie,
I'm not saying that I agree with you on that. What I'm saying is, when all of these headlines are saying, I just read the headline to you. Miami Vice reboot in jeopardy. Michael B. Jordan now demanding $18 million salary after Oscar win. That is a negative headline.
They do that all the time, but they do that no matter who went out. They do it all the time.
Yeah.
You guys see
when's the last time they did that? So didn't Austin Butler win one? Did he win that one for Elvis?
No, he did
win
not.
For Elvis.
That's why he couldn't be demanding shit because he didn't win.
Well, he can't demand it. Well, who's the last white guy that they did that to? You tell me if they do it all the time.
I'll probably say
that's a really good positive question, Michael. What are you talking about?
That is a guess, Ralph. That's not. You'll probably say, "Show me some proof," and then I'll believe you. I'm telling you right now, because of this situation, because of who it is, that is a negative headline. It doesn't have to be framed that way, because whether he's quote unquote demanding it or not, if that's his price, that's his price. Yesterday's price is not today's price, period. Especially after an Oscar win. We all know that, and everyone who writes about this knows that. But when you're doing media, when you're writing headlines, it's one or two words you can frame it. It can be considered negative or not negative. So the way by this starting off with a question, Miami Vice reboot in jeopardy, that's negative right out the gate.
Well, they're talking with Tom Cruise to play the villain, so he's going to get a big payday. So why can't he get a big payday? So they're actually saying that he's going to get anywhere between $16 to $20 million. And it's all going to depend on Tom Cruise. Now, if his agent's really smart, he'll cut him in for really good back end, like Tom Cruise does in all his agreements.
Well, yeah, Tom Cruise, who knows? He might, because the director is the same guy.
It's not really that negative. The other guy's agent's complaining because this is the vehicle for the other dude, for Butler.
Yeah. The director
and Butler ain't gonna go nowhere near $18 million. He's not.
No, he's not.
Oh, hell no.
Nah, he might. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he pulls between 7 to 10. 7 to 10.
Yeah, 7 to 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's fine. So I mean, the bottom line is
it's a huge payday for him.
It should be a huge payday. It probably will be because it's not like 18 million. It's not like come on. If you're doing this Miami Vice movie and you're trying to bring on Tom Cruise to play the villain, which I think would be awesome. But
it was being set in 1985.
Say again?
It's being set in 1985. Back in the days of Narcos and to give it that gritty sense and all that stuff.
Interesting. So yeah, if they're gonna make it a period piece, this is gonna be a big budget movie anyway. If they're gonna make it a period piece, you have Tom Cruise possibly playing the villain. You got recently Oscar winner Michael B. Jordan, and forget about the Oscar. Michael B. Jordan is a movie star. He is a movie star. He's starred in several blockbuster films.
Well,
ensemble movies.
Yeah, and I'm about to say the same thing too. I gotta disagree with you. The fact that you can now put Oscar winner in front of him differentiates him from everything else because now he's an Oscar winner. So,
yes, of course, that definitely puts him in another category.
Because really, if you really break it down, all Michael B. Jordan movies, he's only where he stands alone as himself, and we'll take out Sinners. He only has one, and that's Creed 3. The other two, still, even though Stallone, he had to rely on Stallone. Black Panther, we know that one. So what else did he really have in his repertoire? We said he stood alone, and the movie was super successful. Fruitville Station was successful. If you want to say because of the budget, then I'll say okay. But real speaking, everything else that he was in was an ensemble movie, with the exception of Creed 3, because he took on all the responsibility. He is first up on the call sheet. Right, and not only on the cast,
he was number one on the call sheet on all of Creed.
Yeah, but still, Creed 1 and Creed 2 still relied on Stallone.
On Stallone,
right? You know what I'm saying? Black Panther, he's part of the ensemble, right? And Black Panther movie for his little cameo piece. So really, only thing that you got to base that statement on is Creed 3 out of all the movies that he did. And like I said, I'll be willing to give you the benefit of the doubt on Football Station because of the budget, right? So Sinners was really his showcase piece. Oh, and I forgot he was in Red Tails, which I'll keep forgetting, but he had a small role in that, you know.
Yeah.
So the Thomas Crown Affair, if it does half, I'm gonna say if it does half of the business that Sinners did, it'll be a win for him. If it doesn't, and it's got to do two things. It's got to do half of the business, at least half of the business of Sinners, but half more of the business than the Pierce Brosnan version. And that's where it's got to fall in there.
Right. So him being the Oscar winner, regardless, definitely. So this is going to be a big budget.
And I'll tell you what, I finally finished watching Sinners. And I will tell you this. He deserved Best Actor. I finally watched it. Once I understood what the movie was about and I finally figured it out, I actually enjoyed the movie. But yeah, he deserved the Best Actor. I thought it was really good for that genre and what he did. You know, so other than that, I mean, yeah, you know, let him keep doing his thing. You know, but he did play. He did not play himself. That's the other thing. He did not play Michael B. Jordan that I keep talking about. So in those two, he was fine. Now the movie in general, I thought it was Dust Till Dawn, but we'll have that for another day. But yeah, let Michael B. collect this paycheck, man. Like he's grown, and you know, I respect him more because of the way that he accepted his award. For me, that was like you couldn't get any classier, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give this guy the benefit of the doubt, and you know, I'm glad that he's not responding, and you know, let him go get paid, man. Everybody else gets paid.
Go get right, bro. Go get your cheese, man. Go get your cheese.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you want to break into that 25 million, if you want to start breaking that 25 million movie, man, you gotta start. This is the time when you start banging them out now, but they all gotta be blockbusters so you can justify that $25-30 million upfront money. So you got to do it, man. And then they're gonna offer it to you because they want you in that project. Because the studio's gonna bang the fact that you're the Oscar winner. That's gonna be the drawing point. That's because they're gonna say Oscar winner, you know, such and such.
Yeah.
So take it, man. And you deserve, and more importantly, in this time, you deserve it. You deserve it.
And if he does it right, he'll command Denzel Washington money. Dude, Denzel gets paid. Even for that crappy Spike Lee movie, he got paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he getting 30 mil. And I'm sure he get back in deal. So really, I'm be honest with you, if I was Michael B. Jordan, you know what? And this is only if Tom Cruise was to do this, I wouldn't take the 18 million. I would take a lesser amount of money to do the movie, but I would get more on the back end because I know my back end.
I would get a huge back end.
Far more.
That's what Robert Downey Jr. does and Tom Cruise does. They took a smaller paycheck, even though it's still a big paycheck. They get money they get their cut out of the first monies. They don't even wait till the studio recoups. They get first monies.
Yeah.
That means you're balling. That means that you can command. So let him start doing that. Why not?
All down the line. That's no matter where that movie plays at. You getting the cut of the worldwide gross, not domestic. Worldwide.
And you're getting first monies back. That's the big deal.
That's when you start hitting that 60, 70, 90 million range. I just saw something the other day. It said that Tobey Maguire, which I couldn't believe this. It said Tobey Maguire for that Spider-Man No Way Home, he made almost $90 million on that movie. I was like, what?
Back end?
Back end, yeah.
He made more than Holland and Andrew Garfield. He made the most. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Tom Holland,
Yeah.
I heard that he's gonna turn into Man Spider.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I heard that's gonna happen.
More than likely, at least a version of it will happen.
And it's gonna happen when he fights the Hand.
Yeah, at least a version of it is gonna happen. If not the
I'm so excited.
Gruesome version, a version of it will happen. If you, for all those who might have should have seen the trailer by now, the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer is out, and I watched it. I actually have a reaction video here on the IE Network that I did of that trailer. I thought it was awesome. It looks like, is that Heaven Hollywood in the studio with us? Heaven Hollywood, you there? What's up, brother?
What's up? What's up?
What's going on, man?
I just wanted to jump on here real quick because you guys are driving me nuts. You guys just ain't getting it. Like, and y'all are very intelligent up there. Like, all you guys are intelligent up there. Here's why. This is what it wasn't the point of how much he's asking for. That's not the point. The point is, I have a show, right? I have a show as well. The moment that I did a show that day, the moment that came in, I had people sending me different takes on that headline. I had Stephen A. Smith is the biggest coon out there. Raccoon. I say raccoon.
Not
even
big.
Stephen A. Smith said.
Not bigger than what's his face. Not bigger than Whitlock. But go ahead.
No, not bigger than Whitlock. Even Stephen A. Smith said, "Why it gotta be demanding?"
Right.
When it's a white guy, it's request. He's requesting 18 million. He's asking for 18 million. But it's Michael B. Jordan. He's demanding it. It's like if he's demanding, either he gets 18 million or it's off.
Yeah.
That's the point. That's the point. Right. The point is the wording. In jeopardy, demanding. The angry black guy, now he's demanding 18 because he won the Oscar. So it's making him seem like he's full of himself now. But the other guy says he negotiated 18 million. He's requesting 18 million. He's asking for 18 million. Michael B. Jordan, he's demanding. And trust me, a lot, I'm not going to say every, but if Stephen A. Smith thinks it was shady, he don't never stick up for black people. if Stephen A. Smith thinks it's shady, then we had Jamel Hill. I know Jamel Hill. Jamel Hill's a race baiter, so I know she was going to think it's shady. But so I don't really get too fired up with Jamel Hill. But a lot of people in my show was like, and I said that my first video after he won the Oscar was Michael B. Jordan, watch out, they're coming for you. And that was my first video after he won. And the very next morning, it started. It started with the L'Oreal chick. It started with the now they're gonna try to. I'll let y'all know what's gonna happen before it happens. It'll probably happen this week. They're gonna revisit this relationship with Lori Harvey, and now they're gonna start trying to see, was it because of Michael that they broke up? They're gonna start trying to frame it to where it was his fault. Now all this whole entire time, it's been her fault, but now they're going to slowly start trying to frame it as his fault. So that's why I said in the video, watch out. And you know us, we gonna do our part to help. We're gonna do our part to help because we don't protect our own. We help lead them to the wolves. They protect their own. They protect their guys.
Yep.
We don't protect our guys. We don't protect our people. We out there.
Even when they ain't doing nothing wrong, we still
Right,
don't protect
leading
them.
them to it. And then everybody always gets them. They always come in my show and say, "Well, what? We're supposed to give them the benefit of the doubt because he's black?" Yeah, yes, yes, yes. Because we never get the benefit of the doubt. They always give their guy the benefit of the doubt. Yes, you're supposed to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's black. Yes.
Well, Michael B. Jordan, on top of that, is the guy is at least to all of our knowledge, seems to be a pretty good guy. He doesn't get any issues and stuff like that.
So,
but my whole point of bringing up
I'm digging him. I'm glad he won, and like I said, he just got to watch out. But that's all I really wanted to say. You guys doing a great job. I'm just gonna listen to the show. But that's the point. It's not what he's asking for. Absolutely, he should be asking for 20. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little disappointed he's only asked for 18. He should be asking for 20. But if
shoot
he
high,
got
even if you'll land on 18
without remorse, he should be asking for 20. But
yeah, he got 15 for without remorse.
But that's the point.
That movie didn't do anything.
I'm out of here.
It was just all right. Good check in, man. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for checking in. Yeah, Without Remorse didn't do anything. It didn't even go in the theaters because I think it was released right after the pandemic.
COVID. It was during COVID.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so it was just. But it was a good movie. And he definitely got. And even during that movie, his co-star, that was around the time that Nipsey Hussle had got murdered, and his co-star Lauren London obviously had took time off from the film. They were trying to replace her. They were thinking about recasting her because she had obviously take a lot of time off in the shooting of the movie, and it was Michael B. Jordan that fought for her and made sure that she wasn't recast and still had the opportunity to play her character. And honestly, it wasn't even the greatest chemistry mix because obviously she had a lot on her mind with her, they're not married, but her kid's father, her boyfriend, whatever, getting murdered. So once again, Michael B. Jordan showing what type of guy he is, and the whole point of me bringing it up, as Heaven Hollywood pointed out as well, is once again the framing. It's how I was on there even as he was talking. I went through about 3 or 4 articles, and they all keep using the word and putting it in quotes: demanding. So it's the way, as we all know, if you work in media any amount of time, it's all about how you frame it. You can frame it one or two ways and make it a negative thing or a positive thing. Either way, most people, negativity sells, so everyone's gonna pretty much always try to frame it in the negative light most of the time. But yeah, so now I wonder what verbiage they're gonna use if Tom Cruise signs on to this film and he gets the money that he's going to get because he's Tom Cruise. How are they going to frame that? Are they going to say Tom Cruise is demanding $20 million, or are they going to say Tom Cruise getting paid $20 million? And that's where the difference comes in.
Why don't they ever say how much Tom Cruise is getting paid? I don't think they've
never
actually ever put it out.
He's producing this stuff too. So, lately, most of his films he puts out, he's producing as well. So,
yeah,
I do hope they do get him as the villain. Tom Cruise actually plays a good villain. I loved him in
Collateral.
Great villain in Collateral. I would love to see him. And something like this, if Tom Cruise signs on as the villain, that's going to up the stakes of this film. This film is going to be lit. It's gonna be
What
lit.
was, dude? What was the name of his character in Tropic Thunder?
His character in it, Leo Grosso.
Yeah, yeah. They should do a movie with him running a studio.
That's funny.
They
That would
had
be
talked
funny.
about that, but it never developed. They kept saying they were
Really?
going to spin him off, and they should have been and did it.
They should have done that because he would have been better than Seth Rogen at the studio.
He had
just,
me. I didn't even know that was him until I saw the end of the movie.
Oh, dude, I only watched the YouTube clips of it.
First time I watched it, I had no idea who that was, and I was like, "Wow, that's funny."
Well, the funny thing is, I don't know if you read the back or heard the backstory on that. Is that he ended up he dressed up like the way he did. He did the video, and he sent it in for them to look at it. And then they went in and set up a whole production for it. And literally, what they did, that's what he rehearsed, and that was his pitch for the character.
Oh wow!
Yeah. I'm like, Tom Cruise thought about that. I mean, this was during his time when he was a little wacky, so I could understand that. But I just,
that was good.
I was like, oh, he's an actual thespian.
I was so, like I said, I was like, I seriously, I just wasn't paying attention. I don't know who picked it off early, but when I saw that, I had got Eddie Murphy vibes at the end of Coming to America when I didn't realize he was the white guy, the old white man in the barbershop. When I first saw Coming to America in the movies, mostly damn near nobody realized that was Eddie Murphy. And they were showing all the things at the end when he told the story. Where's the spoon? Aha! When he told that story. And people were like, and it said Eddie Murphy. People were like, what? And not as surprised, but when I saw it, that I was like, man, that's Tom Cruise. It just threw me off. And then after the fact, I started looking. I'm like, yeah, it's Tom Cruise, you know. So, like I said, man, I think that would have been a funny thing. Oh, speaking of Tropic Thunder, this is funny. There was a picture of, I think I put it in the thing, Ralph, where there was a picture of all of the black winners of Oscars, and they had a boy in there. Let me see if I can share the screen.
I saw that. Yeah,
That was pretty hilarious. There it is. Look who's in there.
I can't see it. I have my phone.
So you got Robert Downey Jr.'s character.
Robert Downey Jr.
And it says Black Excellence. It was like Black Excellence, and you got all of these Oscar winners for Best Actor. Then right in the middle, you got Robert Downey Jr. as his character for Tropic Thunder.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Who I thought was just brilliant, and I thought it was hilarious. Man, I couldn't stop laughing at him. Right? He did such a good job in that, man. When he just said, "Yo, that word has had us oppressed." Dude was like, "Yo, that was just too funny." But anywho, so back to the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer premiered the other day, and right now it looks really, obviously it looks really good. There's going to be quite a few this is it's looking like it's going to play out like an episode of the Amazing Spider-Man or something like that, or with cameos from different people, cameos from The Hulk, not even a cameo. He's in the film. He's not a cameo. The Hulk, the Punisher. You're gonna see a lot of different cameos from famous Spider-Man villains, classic Spider-Man villains that we've seen most of all his famous ones, but we're gonna see some of the classics, like Boomerang and I don't know if the Jackal is gonna be in there, but like these different, like really low tier, because one thing about Spider-Man, I don't know whoever was a comic reader, I collected Spider-Man comics coming up. The one thing about a Spider-Man comic is you always would see more than one villain in one issue of a comic, because he's usually packing somebody up in the beginning of the comic, whoever it may be, whether it's the Shocker or the Rhino or somebody, one of these low tier villains that Spider-Man is packing up and real quick on its way to whatever the real villain is. They're going to give you that montage of Spider-Man, because you got to remember, this takes place, the bulk of the movie takes place 4 years after No Way Home. And during that 4 years, as we know, No Way Home ended with him, everyone erased the memory. They don't remember him. And he just, you can see that he moved into an apartment. He had a GED, so he dropped out of school, and I guess he took his GED, and he just continued to be Spider-Man. So 4 years later, he's like deep into being Spider-Man, almost reintroducing himself, because people still know about Spider-Man. They just forgot that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. Forgot Peter Parker altogether. But now he's become in the good favor with the crowd, with the public. He's gotten the key to the city, all types of stuff. He is like the guy. Everyone is your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. But because he was forced to, everyone to forget him and his two loved ones, it's kind of taken a toll on him. He's kind of watching, almost like watching over what's his name? Ned.
Life is passing him by.
Stalking.
Yeah, it's not stalking. It's he's obviously, when you're talking about today, and it's not fair to say he's stalking them, because if you knew you had to do it, you did a valid thing and gave up your identity, and someone who you love today don't know you tomorrow, you're still going to be checking on them and making sure they're okay. That ain't stalking. So, because it's not like she broke up with him and he's stalking her because he won't accept that they're not together anymore. No, he is obviously their protector. He is a superhero. So obviously, if the people that you protect, your loved ones, which you just lost one of your main loved ones, Aunt May, your loved ones, now you gave up your identity to protect them. Of course, you're going to check in on them and make sure everything's okay with them, because if something else happens, you're going to want to still protect them. So that's what he's doing. And they obviously went on to MIT and graduated, because it's 4 years later. So it's like they graduated and they're back in town. We don't know why they're back in town, if they moved back, if they're just there for a little while before they go on to live their life. But they are back in town. And during that whole time, he was just being Spider-Man and not really being Peter Parker. Now, there was a run in the comics where it was saying the actual name of the comic was Spider-Man No More. where he gave up being Spider-Man. I am Spider-Man no more. I think what they're doing is reversing that storyline where he pretty much is Peter Parker no more. Like he's kind of given up living life as Peter Parker and just dove into being in the life of Spider-Man. That's his life now. And it's taken a toll on his body genetically. Now we all know that he was bitten by, originally a radioactive spider. In some of the stories they said genetically engineered, whatever. We know that, but his body, Spider-Man is not a mutant. He is a mutate, right? So his body's starting to mutate based on the toll it's taken on him, probably the stress and depression and all of those things. Kind of a callback to the Tobey Maguire one, where his organic webbing started not working. Now, they did the Tobey Maguire one like that because one of the biggest complaints or biggest naysaying about the organic webs was giving Spider-Man organic webs is kind of a cheat code because it doesn't show his brilliance. He made the web shooters because he's smart, he's brilliant. And when he's fighting with the web shooters and his web shooters get jammed or damaged or out of cartridges, whatever the case may be, he has to improvise. So that was something that was never going to happen with organic webs. So they brought in the storyline of him kind of having a mental block where the webbing wasn't working properly and stuff like that. So they kind of did a callback to that in a way, because in the trailer they didn't clearly show it to you, but you could tell that at some point he starts to mutate. He ends up in this cocoon of web.
He's turning into the man spider.
Right, it's the man spider, and he falls. And then, you can see that his hand is out of the frame. So you don't see it, but something caught him. Now, either a person caught him or his organic web kicked in. And because he didn't have his web shooters on. So they're going to dabble with that. Another part of the trailer you saw where Sadie Sink's character was being held hostage, who at this point, she's Jean Grey. I mean, so, but they haven't officially announced that yet. But her character in this trailer was very present. A lot of people was like, "Oh, we didn't hardly see any Sadie Sink." No, bruh. Sadie Sink's character was very present in this trailer. Yeah, you didn't see her face.
I didn't see her in it,
but she was in it. She didn't see her face, but she was in it. The scene where the trailer there's a scene where there's like someone tied to a chair and she's being held in this facility, probably the DODC facility, and you could tell that they've had her held there. So that's one thing. That's one where you really just see her feet. And I'll show you. This is the part right here in the trailer. And I'll show you why she's also very present, even though you don't see her face. Very present in the trailer. But let's see here as we share the screen. So there's a banner, and as you see there, the drop of water. And he's going crazy. His senses are super, super, super heightened. That's part of him changing into what we think is going to be the man spider. You see all these webs all over his room, his apartment, because he's probably losing control of them, or he's practicing his organic webs. Banner right there talks to him about him mutating. And it becomes dangerous because his body is mutated, his DNA is mutated. As you see right there, he's got some webs on, and it don't look like he has web shooters on in that scene. So that might be his organic web he's testing. Once another callback to the Tobey Maguire films, trying to test his organic webs, and he's flying all over the place and he can't control himself. There's him with May Parker. Here's the scene. This particular shot right here. Here's the DODC facility that they're keeping Sadie Sink. I call her Jean Grey because that's who she is definitely going to be, in my opinion. And that's clearly a female sitting in that chair, tied there. And then they do it. There's her hands right there. Notice she's wearing green. Right? Another little subtle hint of her being Jean Grey. That is her hands, and she's tied to a chair. Now I don't know if they torturing her. I know it said in one of the synopsises that they were torturing her. They're experimenting on. They're trying to find her, get her powers activated or whatever. Then you see all this stuff with this explosions and things going on, and there earlier in the trailer you see when the Punisher appears. Spider-Man is he's chasing a tank right there, and there's a tank going on, shooting. Then he gets run over by the Punisher. He's like, and I love this is something too. It's always about the little things, how you know this is going to be good. He addresses him in this trailer, at least. He addresses him by name, so he obviously knows who Frank is. He said, "Frank, you hit me with the van. You just hit me with a van." And then they have a conversation or an interaction as if they know each other. Now, either he meets him earlier in the movie, or what I'm hoping is he already knows him, because I'm tired of this whole we don't have to see him meet the Punisher, because in the grand scheme of things, in the background of all of these movies and all of these stories, they're all in the same city, and just like in the comics, eventually they run into each other. So the fact that I don't think we have to waste time on seeing him meet the Punisher for the first time, but the Punisher is always in New York City somewhere doing his vigilante thing.
I'm gonna disagree. I think I disagree with that, because the Punisher has never been in a Spider-Man movie. You kind of sort of have to ask, well, how did he meet the guy? Did he meet him because he stopped him from whipping somebody's ass, or was Peter hurt and the Punisher stepped in and saved him or helped him out or something? I don't think it needs to be a long explanation, but there needs to be some sort of explanation as to how the two of them meet up, because it doesn't really look like they're really on bad terms. Like
no, they're not on bad terms.
Adversaries.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
You can tell they're not on bad terms.
Yeah. So I think for this, you do need if the Punisher television series is on and Spider-Man showed up somewhere on that series, then what you just said right there would be correct. Now, I don't think you would need it because you already got it, but right now you don't have it.
Well, the reason why I'm saying that is, once again, have a little bit of faith in the intelligence of your audience. I mean, you don't have to spoon feed them everything. I mean, the fact of the matter that, we know that Daredevil showed up, right? We know that part. He showed up in the Spider-Man movie. And I'm sure they're going to go ahead and early in the movie, he'll see the Punisher doing something, and maybe he's heard of the Punisher but never met him at first, and then early in the movie they meet. But my point is this: from an intelligent standpoint, this is a world now. That's why Marvel is building to make everything one. This is a world where Spider-Man, just because we never talked about the Punisher in Spider-Man, he would still know about the Punisher because the Punisher is well known in the city. As a matter of fact, in the Daredevil series, they kind of combined it. They mentioned Spider-Man in the Daredevil series, Daredevil Born Again. the Kingpin, who is at the time the current mayor of New York City, mentioned Spider-Man. He referred to him as a vigilante, right? He said a vigilante who dresses up like a spider, or whatever he said, and this and that, and you know, so that was them kind of combining the worlds, letting you know that yeah, Spider-Man swinging all over New York City is impossible that he didn't run into the Punisher at least once. So either way, however they choose to do it, as you just said, they don't look like they're on bad terms or nothing, but he just obviously, you know, he tells him go home. Then there's a scene there, but back to the same scene. So he was chasing the tank. Now here's where this is what I mean by Jean Grey or Sadie Sink's character is very present in the trailer, even though you don't see her much. There he's talking to Banner there. So we went through that part. Now, here's the tank that he was chasing earlier. That finally it crashed somewhere in some building. He pulls the thing and it reveals some old lady, just so old grandma, who apparently stole the tank and is driving it. However, you see this scene where it kind of whips over to this guy, and you see her holding her head, right? So she was obviously possessed by something that was not herself, and that's why she was driving the tank. That explains some old grandma driving the tank. And now he looks over there and he sees this guy with this little grin. Now all of a sudden he just had his gun pointed at him. Now he's been possessed. This guy whips his head up like that, and then that guy jumps like he's just been possessed. So apparently an entity is jumping from person to person. The only person that we have, unless there's very few that can do that, and it's a psychic ability. It's a psych ability. It's either Professor X, which we know he's not in this movie, or another mutant.
Are you sure about that?
Has that sort of ability. And
I'm gonna say that. Are you sure about that part? That he's not in the movie?
Well, as far as I know, I'm pretty sure he's not in the movie. We don't need him to be in the movie because the only other mutant that can do that is Jean Grey. So Jean Grey is probably, just me guessing, maybe she possessed the grandmother or whoever that was to steal the tank to try to break her out, because she's tied to that chair. So maybe she's trying to use these people's bodies to get to her so they can break her out. Because there is a scene that I read about months ago where there's supposedly like some sort of prison break scene, or she obviously is breaking out. Yep. She's obviously getting broken out. And the Punisher is said to be helping her in this film. I don't know to what capacity or even why he is. Maybe because she's young, he sees his daughter in her, you know what I'm saying, or something like that, and he wants to help her. And he is helping her in this film. Not in this trailer, but in the film. And there's another shot right there. That is Sadie Sink's character right there, holding her arms up like that. So she is clearly in Peter Parker's apartment. And we don't know what she's doing in there, but she's lifting her arms as if she's going to be controlling something or doing some sort of deal. So this is where, obviously, what's his name? Destin Daniel Cretton, who is the director, who was actually a pretty good director, a very good action director. You know, he directed Shang-Chi, and He did Wonder Man. He's pretty good director, and of course in Shang-Chi, he used Jackie Chan's stunt team, and I believe he probably brought him back for this because the hand is in this, and if you the hand is, you would be familiar with them if you saw any of the Daredevil series, the Netflix version. And they brought him back. They're bringing him back in, Born Again. But so Spider-Man is going to be fighting the hand in this as well. So where they still promise to keep him friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, more ground level fighting, different villains, whatever. The main villain in this, we still don't know officially, but it's supposed to be Tombstone. It's supposed to be the main villain, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna assume the main villain is the Kingpin, because he's I guess he's still the mayor by the time this takes place, because allegedly this takes place in like 2028 or something like that. I think that's the time, or 2027. It's future. It's like 4 years from now. So, or 4 years from No Way Home. So
can you fast forward the video towards the end when Spider-Man is jumping off that building?
Yeah.
No, keep going. No, where he's right there. You just had it. Go back.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
There's somebody missing in this image.
Yeah. There's definitely. I wonder who it is. It could be Daredevil, because he fights the hand. Because look at where they.
Yeah, that's exactly why that guy right there. He's looking directly at somebody.
Yeah.
And the same thing. The guy.
They did
right
that in the last Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, and look at the guy right behind him, not the guy to his left, but the guy right behind him. He's looking directly in front of him. The other three are looking up at the last guy. No, the last that guy.
Yeah.
See him?
Yeah, his eye line is going straight this way. He ain't even looking up at Spider-Man.
So
He's
maybe
going
that
this way.
So maybe that is the Punisher. I mean, or
Could be Daredevil.
It could be some fan service. It could be the Hulk.
Yeah, could be the Hulk. We know the Hulk. We know that Banner's in it, and I'm sure at some point the Hulk is going to be in it. And I believe what's going to happen is they said that the rumor is that we get the return of the Savage Hulk. So that's probably once again a Jean Grey thing. Jean Grey probably going to do to him what Wanda did to him. She's going to do something to his mind and change him back to Savage Hulk. You know what I mean? It was rumored that there'll be a big fight scene involving the Hand, Spider-Man, the Hulk, Punisher, and Jean Grey. But allegedly, if Spider-Man does turn into the Man Spider, they're gonna have to kind of fight him. And once again, I'm gonna go on record to say if he does turn into Man Spider, the only way he's gonna get out of that is Jean Grey. She's probably going to have to calm his mind, and that's how he'll turn back to himself, because I
think it'll be Jean Grey that does the actual messing with the Hulk.
Yeah, I think so too. I definitely think she'll do kind of like what Wanda did when Wanda in Age of Ultron had Hulk go crazy, and he was, that's why he left the planet, because he went wow. So this is going to be very interesting with they're finally, trying to introduce some more mutants. I mean, we've had, in Miss Marvel, they declared as a mutant. Wonder Man, he was declared as a mutant. But this will be the first time. Well, you saw the mutants at the end of the Marvels. You saw the X-Men. some of them, a couple of them. So they're very sprinkling everybody in, and we know by the time Doomsday come, you're gonna see all of them together probably. But here's a good way of introducing Jean Grey. On a ground level, because it's obvious that she's young. It's obvious that her powers hasn't really manifested. Like she's not Jean Grey, because the Jean Grey that we know, because she wouldn't need the help of the Punisher if she was Jean Grey that we know. So obviously, maybe her mutant gene is just now, activating. Which we all know that's how mutants are. They have the gene. Sometimes it's dormant, and then eventually it activates, and their powers manifest. Maybe because she is young, and Sadie Sink, which makes sense for them to cast a Sadie Sink to play her. Being so young, her powers haven't manifested yet. Professor X hasn't found her yet. And she hasn't joined the X-Men yet, so this is probably going to be somewhat of an origin story for her. But at the end of the day, maybe, who knows, maybe by the end of the movie or end credit scene, she does find the X-Men, or actually they find her, Professor X, because we all know that at the end of Secret Wars, there will be a complete reset of the timeline of the everything. All of the old X-Men are going to be out of here. They're going to be new X-Men, new people, new actors cast X-Men. They're going to do a young version, and they're going to finally do the original 5, the original class, the real first class, in my opinion, of the X-Men, that being Jean Grey, Scott Summers, aka Cyclops, Beast, Iceman, and Angel. That is the original 5 for the X-Men, and I'm pretty sure that's what they're gonna go with in the first X-Men movie. Sadie Sink has already been cast, obviously, as somebody, right? We all know. We don't know who, but she's already been contracted not only for this movie, but for Avengers Secret Wars and a unnamed movie after that, which we all know it's gotta be X-Men because that's the end of what's it called? Secret Wars is going to begin the mutant saga of the MCU. So they're going, there'll be Secret Wars will end the multiverse saga, and it will then go into the mutant saga. And
we're gonna be so damn old when this stuff is over.
Huh?
We're gonna be so damn old when this stuff is finally done.
Hey man, bro, look how late it took to start. So I'm okay with that. Look how long we had to wait. We were all kids watching these cartoons, reading these comic books, and look how long it's taken to get to this part, to this level.
Oh, dude, I we lost about 7 good years of Marvel doing crappy product.
Yeah, well, that's I'm just talking about how long it took to even get the MCU. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
You know what? You're right. I mean, it should have started right after Blade. Right when Wesley Snipes did his thing, that's when it should have done. Let's get all these other characters going.
Remember, but when they did Blade and all of that stuff, they were still, Marvel was still trying to get it together. Really, they had already.
Oh, I know. Dude, so what do you think? They finally got Blade up on the schedule. So what do you think? Is it going to be a Wesley Blade, or is it going to be the new one?
I think that now Ryan Reynolds is very, very determined to get Wesley back as Blade one last time. Don't be surprised if Ryan Reynolds produces that movie, because he has been a very vocal that he wants Wesley Snipes to reprise, but that's why they put him in Deadpool and Wolverine. So he wants Blade to reprise. He wants I'm already calling him Blade. He wants Wesley Snipes to reprise Blade, and I think it's only right to get him in there if you can. And yeah, because he technically started the MCU and never really got a chance to be in it other than Deadpool and Wolverine, just recently. And you saw the reception he got when he walked on screen. Man, I was in that theater. That theater went nuts.
I was in that theater a few times.
God. Yeah, me too, a few times. And that theater every time roared when he walked out. Oh my God. I'm like, yeah, and no shade to Mahershala Ali.
I don't eat popcorn, but dude, I bought popcorn to watch that movie.
Well, that was a popcorn and soda movie, for sure.
Yeah, I bought the soda. I had the popcorn. I had the Twizzlers. I was just sitting there.
Very well done. I mean,
Deadpool was definitely a popcorn and soda movie.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds was born to play Deadpool, bro. I mean, it's just that plain and simple. I mean, he's one of those guys. He's Robert Downey Jr. playing, Iron Man. Like you can't even imagine anybody else playing it now because they fit the role so well.
Oh, dude, he just ad-libs. He doesn't even go with the script. He just okay, that's a format. All right, so he just ad-libs half the movie.
And I didn't really collect Deadpool comics because I used to get annoyed by him. He would pop up in a Spider-Man comic, and I'm like, oh God, this guy, and he'd break the fourth wall even in the comics. You know what I'm saying? And
he was annoying.
I'm like, what an annoying guy. I used to always say that. And but yeah, man, Ryan Reynolds is just great at that. And the fact that he brought Wesley Snipes back in there to play Blade was just phenomenal. And he will, and he is rumored, just like everyone else is rumored, to appear in Secret Wars. So Wesley Snipes is going to come back in Secret Wars. I don't think he's going to be in Doomsday, but he's going to come back in Secret Wars as Blade, of course. By the time Doomsday is over, from what I understand, we're going to lose a lot of our classic, like X-Men and stuff like that. Like they're going to be dead by the end of Doomsday. And then probably resurrected for Secret Wars only to die again. So it's going to be something crazy. But everyone who's been a part of it, they're like, yo, these are the same guys that was a part of Infinity War and Endgame. And they're like, the Russos are doing it again. They're like, yo, we like, as if we didn't think it could get bigger. And they're like, yo, it's just crazy. The people, they better keep Mark Ruffalo's ass off the airwaves because he always spoils shit. He
does not know how to keep his mouth shut.
And Tom Holland's ass too. He's better now. Tom Holland's much better now, But he was another one that would slip something.
He's just excited. That's all.
He's excited, yeah, of course. But Ruffalo, man, they're like, listen, dude. Yeah, Ruffalo's like, yeah, I'm surprised Marvel still got me employed because he's always messing something.
Oh, that's because of RDJ.
Yeah, that they're good friends and stuff. But Ralph, you're right on the bean with this. There's someone missing from that. Maybe two people missing from it,
No, I think it's just one person.
At least one.
Just looking at the angle.
Yeah. Well, you got this guy here. He's looking forward. That's two different levels. He's up here looking straight. Spidey's all the way up here. Nobody is really looking at him except I don't even know. This guy look like, I can't see where he's looking. His head looked like it's tilted down. So it's very possible. There's definitely one other person, possibly two.
Dude, they did this in No Way Home. I mean, the same exact thing.
Same thing. They did it.
And it worked well because that reveal was like, what?
It worked perfect. So we'll see where this goes. But I think this is going to be one thing. They said that this is going to be one of the darker Spider-Man movies because, like I said, he's very, he's in a dark place. See, that's that's a funny thing. A lot of people's asking, is that Rogue? Because of the hair. That's not Rogue, but it might be like a little Easter egg or a little tease or joke that her hair is like that. But he gets smeared across the window like a bug, which I think is hilarious. This is a classic Spider. This was Amazing Fantasy. This is the cover of Amazing Fantasy, the first appearance of Spider-Man. That's what this is, where he's got the guy in the green suit and he's swinging across. The only thing that's different is the city looks very dim in the background. Obviously, it didn't look like that on the comic, but that's a recreation of the very
New York.
Yeah, very first appearance of Spider-Man. And then here's another one. This is the character Boomerang. That's another cover. These are all covers that they're recreating. And then I forget this character's name. Another cover that they're recreating. So this is all part of the 4 years that's going by while they're in college or whatever, MIT. And this is him just packing up every villain. There's the hand again. As you can see there. See, now here's the difference between this and that final shot. They're all looking at him. They're all looking at Spider-Man. And they go right here looking there. He's looking down. He's looking down. They're all attacking him. In this scene here, you saw his eyes right there. That's probably when he was changing into the man Spider. You see his eyes.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then here,
what do you think's going to happen tomorrow with the debut episode of Daredevil? Is it Daredevil? Yeah.
Look at that.
How's that going to tie in with the hand and everything else?
Oh man, that's going to be. First of all, look at Tom Holland's back. He is jacked, bro. Tom Holland got jacked for this film. Look at his back. And
dude, I did his workout, and it kills you. He does the same workout every day.
Yeah.
And I did it much slower than he did. But I did it. It was just really bad.
Yeah. There's a scene where he falls. This is the scene where he falls. He doesn't have any web shooters on. Now, right there. Boom. And he's hanging. And they don't want to show it. It's off camera. But obviously he's hanging by something. Probably organic web. And you can see him being jacked right there as well. To answer your question, Tony, I can't wait. Actually, I'm very anxious to see the debut of Daredevil season 2. We know that the Defenders are coming back. Jessica Jones is definitely in this season, and possibly Luke Cage. He may not be in this season. But they're bringing back Luke Cage, Iron Fist, all of them. They're all coming back. So, but Jessica Jones I saw her in the trailer. She's definitely in this season. So,
yeah, I can't wait. I really do hope they bring Luke Cage, because at the end of this season, dude, he became the comic book guy. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome.
Yeah, it was very, very, very cool. So I hope they bring him in too. I don't know if he's going to be, but Daredevil, being able to, I think Daredevil has there's a good possibility he'll make a cameo in this movie. He was already in No Way Home. Yeah. He was already in No Way Home as Matt Murdock. So Matt Murdock is aware, and Matt probably knows.
Oh, dude, I really hope to bring in Spidey and he like does something.
Yeah, I think I don't know if they're gonna bring Spidey. They're not gonna be able to bring Spidey into the show because we all know they still have the boundaries with Sony. You know what I mean? So I don't think Sony's gonna let them bring Tom Holland Spider-Man into one of their series. But the film that they're producing together, you could bring your characters in our film. We're cool with that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think he'll show up at least for a hot second, maybe on that scene to help fight the Hand. Also, he's already very familiar. Maybe that's how he meets Frank. Maybe he meets Frank through Daredevil. You know what I mean? Because Daredevil's already very familiar with the Punisher. So maybe he meets Frank through Daredevil. Or maybe he's stopping Frank from being a vigilante, and Daredevil kind of explains to him who this guy is. It could be a million ways, but either way, he's going to probably meet Frank on circumstances where it's like, dude, I don't want to hurt you, but stop trying to kill people. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be like,
right.
It's going to be a situation like that. And it's always fun when the Punisher has to team up with Spider-Man or Daredevil, because just as much as they're fighting their villains, they're trying to keep him from shooting somebody. They're trying to keep him from killing somebody. And that's always fun. Spider-Man going to be fighting the Hand and then Webb shooting Frank, covering his guns up. As you can see, I think what they showed us in the trailer is a prelude to what we're going to see more in the film. You saw how he covered the gun, and Frank still shot him with the gun. So obviously it didn't kill him. And I think he might do that more in the film right here, where you see the gun is there covered. Let me share the screen again. The gun is covered with the web right there. And then Frank still shoots him. Boom. So now it becomes more of a, it ain't obviously a bullet or a buckshot. It's just like a big, what's the word? I don't know. Almost like if you're getting shot with a vest on. You know what I mean? Yeah. So don't be surprised if Frank starts pulling his guns and they're in a fight scene and Spidey goes and webs up all his guns where he has to shoot, where he can still knock his opponents out, but he won't kill them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can see something like that happening in a very, it's going to be some, this director he is a good fight director. So, like I said, you got Jackie Chan's team working as the stunt crew. There's a lot of practical stunts in this film, period. He did a lot of practical, they did a lot of practical web slinging, swinging around and stuff like that. Like, even that scene there where after he tells him to go home, that's practical. These are like a lot of stuff. They did a lot of practical web slinging. So, this is going to be very interesting to see. It might be one of the most realistic versions of Spider-Man that you see, because obviously there'll be plenty of CGI, but the fact that they're doing a lot of practical web swinging is just, I think that's awesome. And we know we're going to get some good action. So there you have it.
That'll be fun.
But yeah, man. So we'll stay on top of that, and next week, we'll continue and see what's going on, and I think it's going to be a good. I can't wait for it, man. I'm going to watch Daredevil. What Daredevil premieres tomorrow?
Tomorrow, my birthday.
Tomorrow. Oh, happy birthday, sir!
Oh, happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. We
thank you.
Wish you a happy.
What you gonna do?
Any more? Yeah, what are you gonna do?
I may go play volleyball, but I'm definitely having sushi.
Okay, you're having sushi.
I'm definitely having. There's this new spot that opened up in Redondo Beach that's supposed to have like. It's funny though because this place has rolls named after Marvel characters.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great way to celebrate the new Marvel show coming out, Daredevil.
Yeah.
There you
So
go.
they got like 4 rolls I want to try, and they're like humongous and all that. And they're like they got the Hulk roll, they got the X-Men roll, they got a couple others, and they use like really good fish and really good reviews. So
I can
I'm
imagine the Hawk roll is pretty big.
I'll be taking some video. I'll be posting some videos, but yeah, so I am definitely looking forward to this.
Well, I tell you, man, once again, a very happy birthday to you. Enjoy your day, buddy. Go out and do what you do, man. We're blessed to have life, and celebrate it, man. One of my coworkers, is no longer with us. He passed away. And then you say, celebrate life, man. We're blessed to have
Every
it.
day.
Every day we're blessed to have it. And we know, that you went through some stuff earlier in your life. So keep enjoying and celebrating life, man. You're blessed to have it.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, guys, no, thanks for letting me on here again. And this is insightful. I'm happy you didn't get angry that I'd said that Sinners was Dusk Till Dawn. So
I've stopped listening to you about that. I'm not explaining to you why it's not from Dusk Till Dawn. But it's a
cool vampire movie.
It's a quick comparison that that's the first thing that's popping people's minds, but it's not. It really isn't. And I mean, that ain't no shade on from Dusk Till Dawn. Dusk Till Dawn is its own movie. It's great in its own right.
Wait a minute.
It was good talking to you. Okay.
Wait a minute. Wait. I gotta play devil's advocate. I mean, although I like Dusk Till Dawn, if that Selma Hayek piece isn't in Dusk Till Dawn, will we even still be talking about Dusk Till Dawn? I'm just saying.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Yeah, bro.
I have to go. I have to pick up this phone call. Okay, guys.
All right, brother.
All right, thanks for that. All right, thanks. Bye.
That's pretty.
Later.
Right,
happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday. Yeah, that's funny, Ralph. You say,
after Selma Hayek piece, we even be talking about
we may not be talking about it, but that doesn't mean it's not a good movie.
I know, but usually when they speak about Dusk Till Dawn, they bring up Selma Hayek, the scene that she's in. They don't bring up none of the other stuff. They just bring up Selma Hayek. So that's what I'm saying. If that scene not in the movie, would anybody have you saying anything about From Dusk Till Dawn?
I don't know, man. It's a good point. I know I probably wouldn't be. No, but as a movie itself, I really enjoyed the movie. But I'm a Tarantino fan. Yeah, man. But that obviously is the most memorable part of the movie for a lot of reasons. Obviously, because of Selma Hayek and that scene, but the fact that they change into vampires, which is also, a reveal. I thought that was cool too, altogether. And once again, Tarantino gets to show his foot fetish, foot craze. So, but people who say that, compare those two movies, is just like, and there's influences from a lot of movies in Sinners, and admittedly by Ryan Coogler. A lot of movies. Dusk Till Dawn is one of the movies that influenced him while he was writing this. So did The Lost Boys. So did The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. That whole scene where they're eating the garlic, eating the cloves of garlic. That is a direct callback to The Thing when they were all testing the blood, trying to see who was, possessed by it or whatever. That scene was really directly from that. The fact that you have to be invited in, that's the Lost Boys. You know what I'm saying? So, there's gonna be influences, but you're not gonna say, "Oh, this movie's just like the Lost Boys." It had its own theme, it had its own thing, and it really wasn't a vampire movie. Sinners. It just had vampires in it. So
very true.
So, I mean, whereas the other movies are pretty much, you can classify as vampire movies. They were made to be that. But hell, I want to shout out Alice Reyes. I took her to see Sinners one time when she was here filming for our film Mirror, and I took her to see Sinners specifically to let her watch Michael B. Jordan and get her opinion on it. And she also, way back then, she was like, "Yeah, I could tell the subtleties." She said he kept it, she was saying he kept it close as far as the subtleties of it, but she said, but that's what made it good, because they are twins, they are identical twins, but they're not the same person. You know what I mean? And because she plays twins in our film Mirror, but her twins are completely different. They are completely different people. But yeah, I took her to see that, and we just actually shout out to her again, because we finally, after 5 years of filming, we wrapped her on this movie. We've been shooting this film off and on since 2021, and we finally wrapped her Saturday. So big up to her. She did a phenomenal job. And everyone, I can't wait for y'all to see this. She is killing it in this film. She stepped it up to another level. And also another friend of the show and a friend of the program itself, Lexi Calderon, who's been on the show several times, co-hosted with us a few times. She also really did her thing in this film. Her and Alice have a very powerful scene together, and it's really, really, I can't wait for everybody to see it. This is gonna be something, this film. So and we wrapped the film completely. Our next shoot is our final shoot. Is 1 day left of shooting, and we'll wrap the film. And once we do that, man, that's 5 years of my life trying to finish this film. And I'll do a little dance. So anyway, next week we'll be back, and we'll talk some more stuff and some more movie stuff. And make sure you guys comment and like and subscribe to the IE Network. We thank Tony Perez for joining us. Thanks, Heaven Hollywood, for jumping in for a moment. Everyone in the chat room, of course, thank you for coming through. You guys, make sure you check us out. Check out our stream, our live stream we did of the Oscars. Just skim through it. You're not going to sit there and watch the whole 3 hours or whatever was on there. Skim through it. We had some funny takes. We did some trivia. We played a game, and we did a little bit of everything. Check it out if you can. You will enjoy it. And I guess we'll be back next week, man, and we'll catch up with y'all. Till then, I am the director. The Jedi Council is here. We're saying peace. Deuces, man.
Don't you forget about me.